Hey Supercross fans, welcome to the Emig Post here on Whiskey Throttle Media. I am, of course, Jeff Emig, and we're going to talk about and recap round one of the 2023 World Supercross Championship that was held in Birmingham, United Kingdom. I had the pleasure of spending about a week in Birmingham, all over the place, checked out a lot of cool stuff, had some great curry, and Birmingham was the capital of England. And 100 years ago or more, there would have been like 300 different motorcycle manufacturers between Birmingham and Coventry. So a lot of history with the motorcycle there. Also, of course, the very first Scrambles race was held not far from there, which Scrambles became Motocross, and then Motocross became Supercross, and that brings us to where we are. So probably fitting that round one of World Supercross was there, and it was a pretty good week. The race was held in Villa Park, which of course is the home grounds for the Premier League club, Aston Villa. So a lot of history there with that stadium. Believe they first started playing football there in 1897. So really cool place to go, a lot of history, but now let's get to the racing. All right, so the SX2 heats were dominated by two teammates from the Honda Nils team, with Kyle Peters and Chris Blows taking the wins there. Moving on to the WSX division, the first heat was won by the Bud Racing Kawasaki rider Justin Hill. Ken Roczen won heat two on the Pipes Motorsports Group Suzuki. And of course, in the 450s WSX, the top three riders in each heat then qualify to go to Superpole. And Superpole is really exciting. So the rider that was third in the slowest overall heat race started first. When the lap times came in, it's super fun, and it's awesome because everyone in the stadium is watching one guy. You can only hear one bike on the track. You're focused on the one rider. A lot of pressure on them. But at the end of the results, it was Matt Moss in sixth, Vince Friese fifth, Dean Wilson, Joey Savacci third, and Justin Hill, the heat winner, goes out and just smokes a fast lap. It was really exciting. And then there was one rider left to go, and that was Ken Roczen. He took a couple of different lines, did one rhythm section that really no other riders did during the race or during the Superpole. But in the end, Ken Roczen was 1/10 of a second slower than Justin Hill. So Justin Hill on the Bud Racing Kawasaki was your Superpole winner. All right, so just a little bit of insight before we get into the British Grand Prix SX2 final races. Enzo Lopes on the Club MX Yamaha, he had a crash. I think it was lap 2 or 3 of him being on the track. I mean, it was like right when he started out, and he separated his shoulder. He said it hurt, but he was just going to do whatever he had to do. He's been training too hard. So we all kind of had our eyes on Enzo Lopes going into this final. Also, the local rider Max Anstey out of Winchester, England, grew up just a couple hours south of Birmingham. He had a lot of family and friends there, and I'm telling you, he was the crowd favorite. So let's see how the final went. All right, so probably no surprise that Shane McElrath on the Rick Ware Racing bike is out front here and won that first one. He has just really dominated SX2 here in World Supercross. Crowd favorite, Max Anstey second, and how about Enzo Lopes ending up third in the overall classification for SX2. It was really some good rides. I will make a note though, I did talk to Mike Alessi back at the hotel after the race, and he's banged up, he's pretty sore. Him and Blows went down pretty hard, but they're both okay, and they've got a little bit of time to heal up, and we'll see him at round 2. All right, so now to the final, the World Supercross Championship, 3-race final, 2 8 laps, and then a 12 lap to finish it off. Let's see how it goes. All right, so fantastic starts by Vince Friese on the Moto Concepts Honda. I mean, he just nailed all 3 hole shots. He rode great. It was a perfect track for him. But the overall rides and the speed obviously was just Ken Roczen. He was just too much for anyone to handle. And to me, being in the broadcast booth and watching every second of that race, he just was a notch higher intensity than anyone else. And he certainly deserves to be the round one winner here of the British Grand Prix. With Roczen winning, Savatgy second, and Freese third, probably was fitting. I will say that in the post-race press conference, Vince Freese was really talking with a lot of confidence. He feels like he's fast enough to beat Ken Roczen. It was interesting to see the response of the other riders in the press conference and how they responded to that. I know Vince Freese sometimes plays the bad guy, but I'll tell you what, he rode great. So did Ken Roczen, so we're really looking forward to round 2. All right, so thanks for checking out the Emig post here on Whiskey Throttle Media, and we'll have another one after round 2. See ya.